Hey, and welcome to my channel about living in and moving to Denver, Colorado. A nice city that is in the state of Colorado is called Castle Rock, and we're going to be touching base on what Castle Rock is in this video. Let's get into it. I'm Katie Martineau, also known as the Real Estate Gal. If this is your first time watching my channel, thank you so much. I would love for you to subscribe and hit that notification bell so that you get notified every time I release a video, which is twice a week. As mentioned, my nickname is the Real Estate Gal. I am a licensed real estate agent in this state, so if you need help with buying, selling, or anything in between, I'm your gal, would love to help you, and so please reach out whichever way is best for you. Call, text, or email. My information is below. And now we're going to get into Castle Rock, what you can expect, what there is to do, activities to do with your family, price points for home, and some really popular neighborhoods. So the first thing to talk about is the name Castle Rock. Back in 1859, it was Daniel Kellogg, who is a gold seeker, and he discovered Castle Rock, and the name completely makes sense once you've driven through it, because on I-25, you pass this giant rock that is at the top of a mountain, and it is a castle. It literally looks like a castle. So there, the name Castle Rock was born. There's about 76,000 people that live in Castle Rock, and there is so much to do. It's absolutely insane. So we're just gonna scratch the surface today. So if you live in Castle Rock, you already know that this is here. It is the MAC. It is a rec center that has so many amenities. It's absolutely insane. You could literally spend all day there and be doing different things the entire day. The MAC stands for Miller Activity Complex, and they have trampolines, batting cages, children's play structures, and I love that they call it a play structure. That's what I grew up calling the play set that's outside. Some people call it a playground, some people call it a play set. I called it a play structure. So that was really cool when I was reading all of the facts about the MAC. But anyway, they also have an indoor leisure pool, and they have a virtual playground. Super cool. There is video that essentially shows up on carpet, and so it's pretty much in an empty room, and then kids are essentially like playing virtually from the media that's being shown on the carpet. It's super cool. One of the things that they recommended is that this needs to be in every pediatrician's office. So when the kids are waiting to see the doctor, they actually have something to do that's kind of fun and it gets them moving. And then a cool thing about the MAC is that you do get a discount if you are a Colorado resident. You get a discount on their different types of memberships. So it even incentivizes you to go if you actually live in the area, but other people can get day passes. If you live in Franktown or Parker or Castle Pines, you can absolutely still go. You just get a little bit of a discount if you're in Castle Rock already. Other than Interstate 25 cutting straight through Castle Rock, which brings a lot of people that are going south, maybe to Larkspur, Colorado Springs, Pueblo, Trinidad, or even more south, or maybe people that are going south to maybe north to Denver Metro or beyond. But there's also the Castle Rock Outlets that has a ton of different types of shopping, fast food restaurants, chain restaurants. One thing that I love, if you have watched my videos before, you know that it's coming. I love supporting local. So there are some really great mom and pop shops that I do want to highlight. One of them is SCILEPPI'S. It is an authentic Italian restaurant. They claim to have a little modern flair to it, but you're gonna find your typical spaghetti, lasagna, ravioli, tortellini. When I say typical, the flavor is absolutely still there. And then their dessert list is nice. Very notable, and it's super large too, but some really great sweets to check out. If you're a sports fan and want to get out of the house to watch the game, but you don't want to drive all the way down to downtown Denver Metro, the Library Co. Bar and Kitchen is definitely a place to check out. They have TVs everywhere, and their wings are super great. And then they have your typical bar food too, like burgers and fries. Super great place. So when you're surrounded by chain restaurants, and don't get me wrong, chain restaurants are great because you can expect quality and service that is the same no matter what location. And you're gonna find that in the Castle Rock Outlets, as well as the Park Meadows Mall is probably gonna be the closest shopping center. And they have a ton of chains there too, but supporting local is always my go-to whenever I try new cities. on to things to do outdoors, Castle Rock has a ton of different trails. There's actually 87 miles of trails, 6,000 square feet of open space, and 50 well-planned parks. Now there is something called the Manitou Incline. So this is not actually located in Castle Rock, but Castle Rock has a miniature version of it. So if you haven't heard of Manitou Incline, it is 0.9 miles of a hike that goes up. There are 2,744 steps to the top, and it is 2,000 feet of elevation gain in less than a mile. That to me just blows my mind. So what I would recommend is if you live in Colorado and you're acclimated to being a mile high at that 5,000 feet of elevation, then you can go do the Manitou Incline. So the starting point is 6,500 feet above sea level, and then when you get to the top, it's 8,500 feet. That definitely will impact your body. It is thinner air. It's already dry out here. You absolutely need to hydrate and acclimate to the elevation change. So if you're coming in visiting from sea level and then you try to do that hike, I'm just gonna caution you, please don't do that. But at some point you do have to try the Manitou Incline. It's almost like a Colorado bucket list type thing. And it's hard. So it took me a little over an hour the very first time I did it. And I feel like I'm a pretty fit person. There is a record holder. It is an Olympic athlete and he's done it in like 30 minutes, which just blows my mind. And then it's kind of cool because you're gonna see the people that do this every single weekend and they will just super easily pass you up, and then they might even go a couple times in one day, which just baffles me. But groups will show up, and I think that they actually have a reservation system now because it was getting a little overpopulated. So the Manitou Incline is something to check out, and that's near Colorado Springs. That's further south. So Castle Rock has its own version called the Challenger. That one is 200 steps, so a lot easier compared to that other one, but it's still a great way to get outdoors and get exercising. You can also bike on the path because they have the steps that are going up, but you could also just hike and you don't have to do the steps whatsoever. Moving on to schools, Castle Rock is part of the Douglas County School District, which is very highly rated and sought out. I have a girlfriend that lives in Castle Pines with her family, and about 10 years ago, that is the main draw of what brought her to Castle Rock, is because the school rating is really excellent. And then of course, because Castle Rock is so large, there's going to be a lot of different schools to choose from. So that's when you can decide what neighborhood you'd like to be in, which leads us into different neighborhoods. I'm going to highlight 4 different neighborhoods and their price points. These are some of the most popular neighborhoods in Castle Rock, but there are actually over 150 different neighborhoods. So we're just gonna scratch the surface a little bit and go with the most populated and popular neighborhoods. I also wanna highlight that most places, if not all in Castle Rock, have Metro District taxes. And what that is it is a separate tax from the tax that's included in your mortgage payment. And what that goes towards is building out the infrastructure. So the sewer lines, the roads, the electrical grid, and building out those communities. So it is an additional tax. And so when we go and search for homes, the tax rate is gonna seem a little bit higher, and that's the reason why. So it's not necessarily that it's bad, but Castle Rock does have newer communities compared to others. And so in order to fund those development projects, they include Metro taxes. And you do find Metro District taxes in some other places that are in the Denver Metro as well. So it's not just Castle Rock, but it's just something to know. So the first neighborhood that we're gonna talk about is the Meadows. It is a master plan community, and with that, there are a lot of amenities to enjoy, such as a fitness center, community centers, pools, and clubhouses. There are about 27,000 people that live in the Meadows. It's one of the bigger neighborhoods in the Castle Rock area. The average price point for the Meadows is $650,000, and that would be for an average of a 4-bed, 3-bath home that is 3,000 square feet. In the Meadows, it is primarily single-family homes, and actually for all 4 of the neighborhoods that we're going going to be talking about, they all have those types of amenities such as pools, clubhouses, tennis courts, and all of those things will be highlighted. If you look at a specific property, all of those amenities are going to be highlighted in the description. And then also, of the 4 that we're going to be talking about, single family homes are predominantly the main style of living, but there are absolutely apartments, townhomes, and condos incorporated in all 4 of the different neighborhoods we're going to be talking about. And then another thing to note, when I cover price point, I am pulling statistics from 2022 to 2023, so within 1 year. So depending on how you look at the statistics, if you go back 2 years or 5 years, of course that number is going to be sketched and skewed. So take that with a grain of salt. And if you want a specific neighborhood and all the statistics about it within a certain time frame or to see what's available, please reach out to me and I'm happy to send you that report. So the second neighborhood is going to be Castle Pines North. It's a little tricky to find out how many people actually live in Castle Pines North because it is part of Castle Pines. But nonetheless, it is definitely something to mention. It is more of a luxurious style home that you're going to find there with an average square footage of 3,900 square feet, 4 bed, 4 bath, and then the price point is about $920,000. So Castle Pines North, for obvious reasons, is going to be a little bit north of Castle Rock. Then moving on to Founders Village, this is going to be a little bit east of Castle Rock. There are just north of 12,000 people that live in Founders Village or Founders, and the average price point you're going to find is $540,000 for a 3 bed, 3 bath, and an average of 2,200 square feet. Now, Founders is going to be one of the most affordable places that you can find in Castle Rock, and with that makes sense of why there's going to be a little bit more people and why that's a really attractive spot. So people that really want to be in Castle Rock, it's a great entry, kind of foot in the door, if you will, to be still part of the Castle Rock community with an affordable price. And last but not least, we have Sapphire Point. So Sapphire Point has about 4,600 people, and it's known for its high quality construction and modern design. Driving through it, it has that very crisp, clean, brand new build kind of feel to it. And the homes are really beautifully built as well, with an average of 4,800 square feet for a 4 bed, 4 bath, and the average price point is $850,000. Now, location of Sapphire Point, if you were to take downtown Castle Rock, Castle Pines, and then Pradera, which is a neighborhood of Parker, and you go right in the center of that little triangle, you're gonna find Sapphire Point. So very centrally located based off of all of those. All of the neighborhoods, and really Castle Rock in general, are pretty close to Interstate I-25. So if you are working in Denver Tech Center, going south as mentioned before, most things are pretty easily accessible. But what's really fantastic about Castle Rock is there are so many different community centers, grocery shopping, fitness centers, trails, trailheads, bike paths. So I wouldn't say Castle Rock is necessarily walkable per se, but it has a lot of the exercise and it has a lot of the amenities, so you don't need to venture out very far. If you're interested in seeing what type of homes are available for purchase currently, please reach out to me with my contact information below. I'd be happy to set up a search or send you one-time results. And then if you haven't done so already, please hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so that you get notified every time I release a video, cover new neighborhoods, things to do around town, solo, with your family, expensive, free, cheap. I'd love to help you however I can. We got some more neighborhoods coming up next week, so thanks so much for watching. We'll see you then.